I feel like we've been trained to see financial struggle as some kind of personal failure. Like, if you're working full time and still stressed out about money, it must mean that you did something wrong.
The craziest part about the American economy right now is like usually when you see these headlines talking about the economy or headlines about whatever going on in the world, it's like you see it, but you don't see it in real life. You know what's happening. Maybe you see like tiny effects of it or whatever. When it comes to the economy right now, every single person I know is directly, visibly affected by this shit. Lack of jobs, how much it costs to live increasing, all that other stuff. I am directly seeing and am personally affected. People I see on a daily, weekly basis. And I feel like that speaks to how fucking bad the state of the economy is. Like, we're not in a recession. This has to be a Great Depression, and I don't know how people are surviving. Maybe it's credit card debt, maybe it's whatever. But then the funny part of it is when you see these headlines historically, and then maybe you don't necessarily directly see it, we are not hearing anything about this. And all the actual effects that this is having on society, people not going out, people not drinking, not going to clubs, not going to concerts, they attribute it to everything except the fact that everybody's fucking broke.
I'm gonna tell y'all the bad stuff right now. I'm gonna be real vulnerable. I spend money like I'm on drugs, right? Like it's bad. Like you'll be like, well, where did your money go? It's awful. My last paycheck was a little over $4,000. Do y'all know I was just in a grocery store and I told them I gotta do this in 2 separate transactions. The first transaction was $8 and the second transaction was $22. I don't even have $40 on one card. And my last paycheck was over $4,000. I need rehab for this shit. Like, why every time I get $1, I gotta spend it? I don't know what.
Hey YouTube, more and more Americans online have been talking about how it feels like no matter how hard they work, their paycheck disappears faster than ever, and even basic things like groceries, gas, and bills are becoming stressful to keep up with. In this video, we're looking at different perspectives on what financial struggle looks like today, and why so many people feel like they're constantly trying to catch up instead of actually getting ahead. Because for many working Americans, the problem isn't simply about spending habits, it's about how the cost of maintaining a normal life has changed, and why so many people feel trapped in a cycle of surviving instead of building a better future.
It's so crazy that a lot of people use, like, you know, the where they split your payments when you paying for something, like Klarna, Afterpay, all this stuff. And a lot of people feel like it's more convenient. Don't get me wrong, because some people don't got the money at that time. But I've learned from experience that a lot of times that with those type of things, it's meant for you to stay broke forever. Like it's like you constantly in a cycle. You just ordered that, now you owe these people these payments when you could have just paid it in full, and you won't have to worry about it no more. I've seen shit. I know people right now that owe some stuff that they've been owing for a while. People buying couches, all type of expensive shit that I feel like when they come to purchases like that, it's best to buy it up front so you don't have to worry no more. You got anything happen to this specific thing, you can get it replaced. You got a warranty and stuff like that, because if you constantly paying payment to payment, let's say you just bought a motherfucking TV, you paying payment to payment, now that TV broke. Now you out of a TV. You out of that money too, because you can't get a new one. I don't know. I've seen people use Afterpay for a lot, but they always tell me, yeah, I got to pay this. They be happy that they got what they got and they didn't have to pay so much up front, but you're still paying and you already got your bills. You already got rent, everything else due every month. Now you got that due as well. It's like, no.
You know what? I'm about fucking over, okay? And typically I don't think twice about it, really, because, like, what am I going to do? Not fucking feed my children? But it's coming to a point to where, like, I'm just fucking over going to the store and getting the fucking bare minimum ass shit that we fucking need for the house. And obviously, of course, like, when one thing runs out, literally fucking everything. If you need groceries, then you need fucking shampoo, conditioner, laundry detergent. Every other Tom, Dick, and Harry thing literally happens to be all at once. And I'm just kind of, like, at my fucking wit's end. Like, I mean, I know we're all fucking struggling and, like, trying to work 2-3 fucking jobs and then have time for your kids. And in the summertime, it's just like, no matter which way you fucking cut corners, like, you still can't fucking save money in today's society. And I'm just, like, really super close to fucking ripping my hair out, because literally go to the store, get the basic ass shit, right? It's not even name fucking brand shit. Literally not even name brand shit, okay? And I have my Kroger card. Anyways, so yeah, like I have my Kroger card, so I try to make some saving, like most of us do. And it's just like, when is enough a fucking enough? Like, it's literally getting to a point where, like, do you eat food or do you pay your bills? And I think it's like the most disgusting thing ever. And then like trying to donate plasma to make some extra fucking money. And it's just like, it's hard to fucking get a second job serving on the fucking weekends, or, you know, you try to donate plasma and they pay $45-$50, and it's just like, then you want to break down and cry because you're like, I have to sell plasma in order to even make ends meet here and there. And then you try door dashing, and it's not even worth door dashing anymore because you're spending more money in fucking gas than you are making any fucking DoorDash orders, and you're putting wear and tear in your car, and it just adds up. It just adds the fuck up. And America, I think, is just going to fucking crash out all at once. We literally cannot continue living like this. We can't continue like drowning in this shit. We just can't. Like, when's enough gonna be enough?
For a lot of Americans, getting paid used to feel like a fresh start, but now many people feel like their paycheck is already gone before they even have a chance to enjoy it. The money comes in, and almost immediately it gets divided between rent, car payments, insurance, groceries, utilities, and everything else that has to be handled. It creates this frustrating feeling where you're working consistently, doing what you're supposed to do, but your financial situation doesn't seem to improve. A lot of people aren't struggling because they're buying expensive things or ignoring their responsibilities. They're struggling because basic costs of living are taking up more and more of their income every year. When most of your income is already committed to necessities, there's barely any room left for savings, emergencies, or anything that makes life feel easier. That's where many people start feeling trapped because they're making responsible choices but still can't make much breathing room. You can cut back on small things, but there comes a point where there's only so much you can remove from your life without affecting your quality of living. The hardest part is feeling like the reward for working hard has become simply being able to keep up. A lot of adults were told that if they got a stable job, managed their money, and stayed responsible, they would eventually feel secure. But for many people today, that sense of security feels further and further away than expected. Instead of thinking about long-term goals, they're thinking about making sure the next payment clears and hoping nothing unexpected happens. Even a small emergency expense can completely change the entire month when there's no extra money left over. That constant pressure can make people feel exhausted because they're always planning around what they can't afford. It's frustrating to spend years working and still feel like one unexpected bill could erase all your progress. For many Americans, the biggest struggle isn't wanting a luxurious lifestyle, it's wanting the ability to stop worrying about every single purchase. They want to feel like their hard work is leading somewhere instead of just keeping them in the same place. And when millions of Americans start feeling this way, it shows how much the idea of financial stability has changed everyday workers.
People really don't talk about this, but you don't really understand struggle until you're getting ready to go out with your friends for a night out. You look at your bank account, you got like $42 in there, which if you know how to make it stretch, you can do something with that on that night, okay? So then you go to the establishment, you go in the bathroom to privately check your bank account because God forbid you have to darken your screen next to a friend to check how much money you don't have in your account because that's so depressing. All of a sudden, somehow you only have like $16 left because some bill, they have taken out the money and you didn't even know about this bill. So now you don't have any money. You don't get paid until next week and the entire night is ruined. And I thank God that I have been delivered from that lifestyle. But nobody really talks about how depressing that is in one's life.
The rising gas prices are not just eating into people's wallets. It will actually kill people. And let me explain. I worked with rural communities, and I worked with people who are on disabilities, and I worked with people who are socially isolated. And that little bit of gas that they now can't afford means that they can't make trips into town, means that they can't go visit their relatives, means that they can't go check on friends. That's gone. That's going to be gone now. They're not going to be able to afford that. There is nothing left for a lot of people to cut. There is no second job that they can get. A lot of people live in places where they can barely get a first job. And you have people on disability, benefits, veterans benefits, whatever. There is no extra thing that they can do. And if they try to do some extra thing, it takes away from the benefits that they already have. So what choices do people have now? And the United States is set up in so many places where if you do not have gas, you do not have access to food programs. You do not have access to social services. You are totally isolated in your little place with nowhere to go. People were already choosing between medications and food, and now they're going to be choosing between, gas. They don't have gas trip. How can they make a trip to the doctor? How can they go check on grandma? They don't have any way to get there. I've heard people say, like, I literally have no way to get to the food bank because I can't put gas in my car. So how would I even get there? So I don't have food now. I just don't have food. I'll have to go without food.
I'm walking around Costco here and I'm noticing these prices. For example, these madras lentils, $15.99. I bought those a year ago for $6.99. Let's look at what else we got going on here. Dang, this is the flour we were buying for $5.99 last year. We literally bought this chicken broth $5.69 2 months ago. And I keep getting told that we got, 6-7% inflation. You gotta be kidding me.
One of the biggest frustrations for many Americans is that things that used to feel normal now require a second thought before spending money. A simple trip to the grocery store can turn into a stressful calculation where you're comparing prices, putting items back, or realizing your usual shopping trip costs way more than it used to. Food is something everyone needs, so watching those prices climb can make people feel like there is nowhere to escape to from rising costs. The same thing happens every time someone fills up their car, pays for a family meal, or tries to do something small for themselves after working all week. It's not that people want an expensive lifestyle. A lot of people are just trying to maintain the same level of life they had before, and that has become a lot harder. Things like going out to eat, taking a small trip, or buying something without stress are becoming decisions that require more planning. For many working adults, the frustrating part is remembering when these things felt more affordable and wondering why the same amount of money doesn't go as far anymore. Even small price increases across everyday expenses can add up when they happen over and over again. A few extra dollars at the grocery store might not seem like a lot by itself, but when every category gets more expensive, the impact becomes impossible to ignore. That's why so many people feel like they're constantly adjusting their lifestyle just to keep things balanced. They're not necessarily spending more than before. They're often paying more for the exact same thing they've always needed. That creates the feeling of losing control because prices of necessities are changing faster than people can adapt to. It's stressful when something as simple as buying food or putting gas in your car starts feeling like a decision you have to carefully think through. Many Americans aren't asking for an easy life where everything's handed to them. They're just asking for a situation where working hard allows them to comfortably handle normal expenses without constant financial pressure. Because when everyday life starts feeling unaffordable, it changes the way people think about money, planning, and even their future. The biggest frustration is that many people feel like the goalpost keeps moving, and the lifestyle they've been working for keeps becoming harder to reach. The hardest part about constant financial pressure is that it doesn't just affect what people can buy, it affects how they feel about their future. When every month is focused on covering expenses, it becomes difficult to think about a bigger goal like saving money, investing, buying a home, or building a safety net. A lot of Americans aren't just worried about having less spending money, they're worried about not having enough protection if something goes wrong. Because when there's so little money left over after bills, even a small unexpected expense can create a major problem. That feeling of always being one step away from falling behind can be exhausting. Many adults spend years working, trying to be responsible, and planning for a stable future, but they still feel like they can't get that security they expected. And that can be especially frustrating because the advice people grew up hearing was simple. Work hard, save money, and eventually things will get easier. For many people, that promise feels much harder to achieve now. Instead of feeling excited about the future, some people are focused on making sure they can handle whatever comes next. They're thinking about their next bill, their next paycheck, and whether they can afford unexpected situations that they never planned for. That constant uncertainty can change the way people view adulthood because stability starts feeling less guaranteed. It also explains why many younger people are watching older generations struggle and questioning what their own future will look like. When you constantly see people working full-time but still feel financially stressed, it changes how you think about success and independence. A comfortable life shouldn't feel impossible for someone who's putting in effort to create one. People aren't expecting everything to be easy, but they do want their work to translate into some level of peace and progress. The issue is that many Americans feel like they're spending all their time and energy maintaining their current situation instead of improving it. And after many years of that, it can become discouraging to feel like you're working hard but never reaching that next level. Because at the end of the day, financial stability isn't just about having more money. It's about having confidence that your life will be okay even when something unexpected happens. That sense of security is what many people feel like they're missing right now.